Hello aviators, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ty Jones, your AeroNerd, bringing you honest experiences, reviews, tips and tricks and training that'll help you aviate, navigate, and communicate. Speaking of communication, I have had these headsets, these Bose A20 headsets for the past 5 years. Are these really worth $1,000? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Coming up.
It's going to be Airport, maintain 3000 and contact will be takeoff.
Now, just like many of you, I was very skeptical in buying these A20s. $1,000. At the time when I got them, they were actually $1,200. And well, basically because I had the Bluetooth addition to it. They get a little bit cheaper. I believe they're around $1,000, a little over $1,000 if you get the one without the Bluetooth portion. But when I first put these things on, oh my god, these are super comfortable headsets. If you are going to have these on noise canceling and you're flying solo by yourself, just be careful, because if you have autopilot and you're just going, I mean, they're so quiet and smooth, you could fall asleep and who knows where you'll end up when you wake up. But anyway, no, but all joking aside, these are really good headsets. One complaint that some pilots may have with those noise canceling headsets is they can't really hear the engine. I was flying the Seminole, and you really need to hear those engines when you're flying a multi-aircraft. So that's one of the things that might be the thing that you may not want to fly with the noise canceling, with the active noise canceling. However, you can just shut those off. Maybe you can put one earmuff when you're doing your run up or whatnot. But that's what I've heard many pilots say, so that's why I'm putting it up here. I've never had that issue. I can hear the engines just fine, but there's people who have 1 billion hours more than I do, and if that's what they say, then hey, so just expect that. Now for comparison, the only thing I can really compare to that I've actually worn regularly was the David Clarks, and there were some old David Clarks. They had the gel ear cups. They didn't have any noise canceling. Well, the noise canceling was passive and not active. So active is when you put the batteries in or they run off battery power. That's so you get that super quiet noise cancellation. Otherwise, you'll just get the passive. And the same thing with the Bose A20s. The Bose A20s does have batteries in them, but when the batteries die out, then it goes to passive noise canceling. So it's kind of similar to what I was experiencing with the Bose. Now to go over some specs, Bose says that these A20s will give you 30% more noise reduction when you have the active noise cancellation on. It's a very simple and intuitive operation when it comes to the little fob here. This right here, in my opinion, kind of gets in my way a little bit, because if you're flying in well, I'm an instructor, so I have to fly in the right seat most of the time, and in some 172s, if you I don't know if you can see this, I'm trying to look at my screen here. So I plug them in the 172, or I can plug them down here, and it has this little clip right here, and I normally clip this right underneath the window. There's like a little pylon, and right on the bottom of the pylon there's a little clip there, so I normally clip this right here. I don't normally put it on my seatbelt because this thing is just, you can feel the weight of it. It just gets in the way. So in order to alleviate that, I just put it on that little clip on the bottom of the pylon, and it works just fine. However, I find that sometimes when I'm taking controls, the yoke is right here, and I'm hitting this right here. So I kind of wish they would kind of move this. I don't know what they can do with this. I honestly don't know, but I mean, there's a lot going on in here. I mean, you have your battery case in here, and I'll show you a close-up here in a minute. But you got your battery case, you got your volume switches right here, which is really nice. I normally just keep these all the way up because I can just turn the volume up or down on the actual radio stack, which is no problem. The power for the battery, the length of the battery life, I mean, I forget what Bose says. I'll look it up here in a second, but if you're flying every single day, if you're an instructor, you're probably going to have to get a spare set of batteries with you at all times. I remember flying non-stop for literally a week and a half, and I replaced the batteries. I'm not even exaggerating. You fly and you fly and you fly and you fly, and you have to replace the batteries again, and you can tell because the noise cancel will just give out. And you look at the little thing right here. You look at the little battery pack there. That little light. Actually, let me turn it on. There, let me turn it on. There you go. It's a little light. So that's green. So yay, change the batteries. Now when this turns red, it'll blink red. That'll mean the batteries are dying. And I'm like, I just changed the batteries in this thing like yesterday. Well, that's what it seems like, but you know, I fly every day, so. So the only thing, and I try to use other batteries too. I try to use the batteries that like 10% longer life, Energizer, Duracell. No matter what battery pack you put in here, it lasts the same. I see no difference, and that's just my honest opinion. The Bluetooth part, this right here. I cannot get that to work. I tried pairing it with 2 different iPads, and I couldn't pair it at all. What I was trying to do is, I don't know if you flyers with that have ForeFlight, when you're entering a runway, it'll say entering runway, or it'll say crossing runway, low altitude, or whatever. But I wanted to have that in my headsets because sometimes I can't really. I'll have the iPad on my knee, and it'll just, I can kind of hear it because I have my volume on my iPad kind of high. So. But I want to, what I'm really interested in is traffic alerts. It'll literally tell you traffic, or wherever, high or low, or 1 o'clock, within a mile or something like that. That is kind of important. I kind of want to put that in my ear rather than me, you know, doing instruction on a student. I'm looking out there and I'm kind of looking outside. But the second I look down and a traffic can come out of nowhere, if I can have that extra alert in my ear, then hey, that would be helpful, right? So that's why I wanted to try to hook this up to my iPad, which I wasn't able to do. Other Bose A20 headsets was able to do it just fine. So maybe I just need a new fob, I guess. I have no idea. Maybe this one's just old. Again, this thing is 5 years old, so who knows? Maybe they have the newer one. Right here also they have a headphone jack too, so you can just plug your headsets in there. Here you can take calls, you can listen to music, you can do all that stuff. Okay, another thing, these clips. These clips, I mean, they're just clips. They're nothing great. I mean, if you have it on here, if you have it clipped on something, I mean, this will happen all the time. I mean, it'll just disconnect, and I'll show you a close-up when I do the other shot. But I have to do this all the time. Click it right back in here, and just what happens the next day, it comes right back off. So I bought some new ones, and it did the same thing. So I hope Bose comes out with a better clip thing here, so we can actually clip on and actually stay on when I actually have some weight on there. Another great feature about these, the actual headset itself, is these. You can actually switch this to the other side if you wanted to, and I'm pretty sure you've went to the Bose headsets website, and I mean, it clearly shows that you can clip on each side either way based off of your preference. There is a left and a right, so you can't just flip around and put it on this way. You actually have to put it over here because the way that that is designed, you can kind of see how the headset is kind of like how it's kind of angled in reference to the actual the piece that goes around your head right there. These little holes right there, I believe they are microphones, I believe. The only reason why I say that is because when I actually plugged my ear, one of these holes, it sounded a little bit different, so I'm assuming this is what the noise cancellation sound system comes from. But other than that, the microphone works fine. The tower can hear me clear as day. If you have one of those ASA headphones or any other, maybe David Clark's, they may not be able to hear you as crisp. There's been so many times where a student would make their call to tower, and they would say, Cessna 12345, do you have an instructor on board? And I would call in, and then I'd have to make my call because they could not understand what they were saying from those ASA headsets. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of flight schools are giving their students, part of like a package or whatever. But if you do have those headsets, I highly encourage you to invest some money in some better headsets than those. It's just going to save you a lot of heartaches in the long run. Maybe not necessarily go straight up to the Bose A20s, but there's also other ones out there, Lightspeeds and some other ones too. So the comfort is unparalleled. It is amazing. I can wear these for hours and hours and hours. They don't crush your head after a while, you put them on, you know that they're on for the first 5 or 10 minutes or so. After that, you don't even recognize, you don't even feel that they're on your head anymore. I did long cross countries from Daytona Beach all the way down to Key West and back with stops in between, and I did not ever need to take them off. It's hot in the aircraft, so I didn't have to worry about the sweat or anything like that. They're very, very good. And I also have sunglasses on most of the time, so that's another big key thing. If you have headphones on that kind of squish your ear, and you have sunglasses on, that's really going to have create a lot of hot spots on the side of your head. With the Bose A20s, I don't ever have to worry about that. So comfort is I vote that 10 out of 10. Okay, so now in this, now let me get rid of my ghetto headset stand. Don't make fun of my headset stand. That's all I had at the time. Anyway, back to the back to the headsets here. Now, as far as the wear and tear, like I said, right here there's some wear and tear right there on the cushions, and these are the second ones I had to replace. I'm sorry, I had to replace them once, so this is the second pair I had. That's what I'm trying to say here. So there's some wear and tear there, some wear and tear there. I mean, it's not really that bad. The other part I was mentioning inside of here, you can get this replaced too inside of there. So that's what that is going to be like that. But if you just want to get just these headsets, they're really not too difficult to replace. You just peel these off right here, and then these cups, they kind of like hug around these little the ear muffs out here, and the actual headset, itself, and these little, right there, they kind of just grip inside of here. You see a little, and all the way around, and that's how they grip. So you don't ever have to worry about these accidentally coming off. I mean, you do have to actually put some effort and try to get these off, but when you do, you don't damage them taking them off like I just did, so you don't have to worry about that. Other wear and tear, just cosmetic damages, is right here. There's a little crack right there, and again, these are 5 years old. So if I wanted to unscrew that screw and this screw, I can just take this off and put it in here, and obviously I would take this and I would replace it and put it over here, so there's no exposed hole right there. As far as the outside, this is what the outside looks like, and just turn it around nice and slow here. Very, very nice. And again, these have been in the heat and the cold and they've been all over, and they still work just fine. Here's that works just fine. Now the clamping, so they don't clamp all the way down. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put the earphone back on. Okay, we're back. I got the earmuff back on. So as far as the clamping force, as you can see, I'm just holding it just like so, and you can see how it's about, a finger separation. It doesn't clamp down all the way like some headsets do. So I'll go ahead and there it is. It just stops right there. This right here is really comfortable. Oh, let me get this microphone out the way. This right here is really comfortable too. I think this is probably one of the contributing factors to the comfort on the top of the head. There's no hot spots anywhere. Like literally, there's no hot spots anywhere. I really do like these headsets. What else? The microphone. I never had to replace. I did replace this microphone foam, the windsock, but I didn't really have to. But I just did it just for the heck of it. But it does come with a little rubber band on it. Like I said, I never had to replace it, but I did just because I just felt like replacing it. Cool. Moving down, you see the wire. Really nice, beefy wire. There's no damages on that or whatnot. They have this right here. I believe the reason why they put this here is so this is supposed to clamp on top of here, I guess. I don't know, but I couldn't get it on there. I thought it was going to cause more damages than harm, so I just put it right here. And it's also just slide this up and down. But like I said before, this clamp is really good, but this happens all the time. No, now I can't do it. There you go. So you have it clipped on there, and then all of a sudden this will just separate, and you can see how it's just
just a hole. That's all it is. It's just to put it back on there. You just slap it back on there, and that's it. Swivels. So anyway, I'm pretty sure there's probably an aftermarket fix to this. But anyway, moving along. Here is the fob. There's some slight cosmetic damage, like this right here is starting to separate. I don't know if you can see that. I can close it like that. But again, there's no issue. This right here is the volume for the Bluetooth. If you want to answer a phone call, you just click this little button right there, and then you're supposed to answer your phone calls if it's connected by Bluetooth. Like I said, it doesn't really work for me. Here's your options right here. You can click this on. I believe this first one is it's on continuously, so even if you have your music playing, it'll still continue to play. So hopefully you have your music down. Right here, if you have it clicked up the second notch, it will play and it will break if you have a transmission, and then after the transmission it'll come back. And I believe that's why you have the little dashed dashed arrow there. So that's what that is. The power button, it's really intuitive. I mean, you press the power button, it turns on. You hold it and it turns off, and it'll blink. So the reason why it'll blink is if you have this in your bag, and you can see something blinking a lot better, especially at night. Suppose if it was more so than if it was just on all the time. So that's why it has that blinking on there. So and it actually helped because I actually had it in my bag and it had it blink. I was like, hey, what is that thing blinking? So you just press and hold, and you turn it off that way. You have your left volume selector, right volume selector. Like I said, it's very, very easy. It fits in the hands very easily. You can reach everything really easily. Phone, I mean everything. I don't really have to readjust my hand to my thumb can reach everything, no problem. The battery case is, so this is like hard plastic, and yeah, this is like a rubbery material, so you got this rubbery trying to connect to this plastic, so it is kind of difficult sometimes to take this off and on. Trying to bait two different surfaces made of different material. So there's that. The batteries, you can take these out. Some aircraft require you to switch your headsets to mono or stereo, and how to select that is right in here. You have to get like the tip of your pen or something, and you can switch that. So that's how you do that. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus in here a little bit more. Let me see if I can I get it to focus in there? No. Anyway, but this is how you do that. But I think that's kind of a poor design in my opinion, because in order to switch to mono to stereo, I wish they put it right here. I mean, it would just be, oh, but no, I gotta take the battery, I gotta open this up, I gotta take the batteries out, switch it, and then I gotta put the batteries all back in, and then I gotta turn it back on while I'm flying in the airplane, by the way, or let's say, but hopefully you don't have to do that. Maybe you can do that while you're on the ground doing your pre-flight. But anyway, another thing behind the batteries, the other switch is this auto on-off. So if it does, if you do leave it on, it will auto turn off by itself. As far as how long it'll take, I'll have to get back with you on that because I'm not sure off the top of my head. But that is it. Then moving on to the end, here is the two plugs for the aviation headset. You can see that this one is kind of bent a little bit. I can kind of rotate that. I'm not sure what caused that. I never really jammed these headsets in there, but maybe I had them in there and my knee hit it or something. I have no idea. But yeah, you can kind of see how this one's kind of bent inwards. This one right here is kind of bent inwards. So that's literally it. But that is the full breakdown of the Bose A20 headsets. As far as how close you have to have the mic to your mouth, I know there's a lot of people that don't like that, especially if you're renting an aircraft and they have one of these in there. It's like, cool, I want to use those, but you're afraid of like, oh, I don't want to use that microphone. People spit on this thing and all that good stuff, so I want to keep this microphone a little bit further away. There's some headsets that you actually, unfortunately, do have to have this like right in your mouth in order to do that. With the Bose A20s, you don't necessarily have to do that.
I found out that if you're in an aircraft that you can adjust your squelch. You can adjust that a little bit and you don't have to have this super close to your mouth, and the clarity of when you transmit, the tower or whoever you're talking to can still hear you crystal clear. If any of you have the Bose A20s and have some experiences, please put them down in the comments below so the viewers that are looking at this can probably help them decide even more, or maybe I missed something that you can actually put in the comments below so they can read that and also help them decide too. Alright aviators, I hope this gave you good insight, and whether if you want to buy the A20s or not, I am very satisfied with them. I would never buy anything else other than the A20s because that's all I know, and they've been great to me so far, other than the small little minor stupid stuff that I've mentioned before. But other than that, they're great. If you're deciding, well, I don't know, maybe I should get this, maybe I should get that, if you're thinking about the A20s, just get them. Just get them. I'll also put a link to the A20s and all the accessories in the description below. So click those and it'll send you right to the Bose A20 headset. You can just purchase them and just go from there. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know, put them in the comments below. But until then, keep flying, keep learning, and always have fun. I'll see you guys next time.